Alright everyone, Goodyear is in deep, deep doo-doo, and it's really, really fun to see this. They're being handed a massive boycott that's literally encouraged by Donald Trump himself, because we found out as an employee, a patriotic unnamed employee in one of the Goodyear factories, took a picture during a slide presentation that they were making, in which it said that you were allowed to wear gear about like LGBT, racial equity, and stuff like that, BLM, but you're not allowed to have like All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, MAGA apparel. Now, MAGA apparel more strictly falls under political material than something that's technically tangential to politics, like LGBT. But BLM, insofar as you are talking about the actual organization, is explicitly political in nature. They bundle money through ActBlue, much of which goes to the DNC. They are run by explicitly political individuals. It is a centralized organization. It's not simply a slogan. If you just want to write Black Lives Matter on a white shirt or something like that, or I guess you'd write it in white on a black shirt at that point, that's not necessarily political. You're just making a statement. It's not really a political slogan at all. The organization is Marxist. It's run by people who self-proclaim themselves to be that, and they make a lot of money doing it. And they're a bunch of fucking grifters. It's political. Blue Lives Matter is not a political movement, meanwhile, but is banned. All Lives Matter is not a movement at all. Again, this is simply a slogan. It's very funny because Black Lives Matter is an organization that gets conflated to a larger movement. All Lives Matter is a slogan-eared sort of sub-movement that gets conflated as though it was being pushed by an organization. Now, what white nationalist organization supposedly is pushing it is never mentioned because it does not exist. It's not political. MAGA's different, and the reason why Trump's weighing in largely is because of that. But it was funny, the White House press secretary the other day, did you catch her excellent move? Her absolutely excellent fucking political maneuver here. She stated in regards to this, when Trump, after he tweeted out that he was in support of boycotting Goodyear, she said, well, you know, basically Blue Lives Matter and MAGA are the same thing now. Oh God, how excellent. That was perfect 4D fucking chess right there. That was delicious. Greatest White House press secretary of the modern times. If Trump ever fires her, he's crazy. But here's the thing. Goodyear put out a response, right, on Twitter. They decided, and this was obviously for fairly obvious reasons, they decided to not allow people to comment on it, so instead people are like leaving their grievances on every other fucking post they've ever made. I know, I joined in because it's fun. And the reason why they did that is they knew it would get ratioed. Because the response is a fucking goddamn bald-faced lie. They claim in here, well, yep, basically what the slide says is our policy, but it didn't come from a mandatory diversity course at Goodyear. So what you're saying is that indeed, your policy bans individuals from having a shirt that says Blue Lives Matter, supporting the police, which is not, again, it is not a political statement. The police are not a political front, a political organization. Meanwhile, BLM explicitly is. Beyond the slogan itself or the idea of Black Lives merely in the philosophical sense mattering, which isn't even really something people are fucking debating, is a Marxist organization using that slogan to make money. Blue Lives Matter is not. Blue Lives Matter, it's funny, they say this, but would you have an Antifa shirt? Would that be allowed? And LGBT, that's in a totally different category than something like BLM or even MAGA. If Goodyear wants to ban political apparel in a general sense, then it should allow both BLM, the slogan, and LGBT stuff in the non-political sense, and all of these other things. The only thing on that list that you could construe otherwise would be the MAGA stuff. But it wouldn't involve All Lives Matter, which is not, by the way, a racist statement at all. It's funny. There have been people who have made like All Lives Matter posts and gotten removed off of social media. It's the most innocuous possible fucking statement you could possibly fucking make. You're saying that everyone, regardless of race, creed, color, and gender, and so forth, matters. What the fuck is hateful about that? Doesn't make any fucking goddamn sense. So Goodyear's going to face a boycott. Their stock already started to crash. They should just fucking go out of business. Was it Goodyear or Firestone back in, like, I think it was the fucking 90s. It was one hot summer and the tires kept exploding. I can't remember. I think that might have been Firestone there. I think there were a whole bunch of jokes back then about it. And all the late night comedies, like the Mad TV era sort of jokes made about, I think it was Firestone, unfortunately. It would have been funnier if it was Goodyear, because now their stock is exploding like Firestone tires. See? The first new joke since the 1990s. Or 2000s, maybe. the 90s and 2000s run together. It was all one big blur of fun before the collapse came and everything got shitty. Only good thing about the modern era is the internet's faster now, I suppose, and more throttled. Yeah, they got woke, and as we've seen with Gillette and half a dozen other companies, when you get woke, you go broke. By the way, a company that partners with fucking NASCAR and shit like that, don't you think that the sort of people who like to watch racing and like cars and stuff might lean a little bit further to the right? Might generally support Blue Lives Matter and not necessarily be fans of BLM? I think that it's going to hurt them a lot. I think they'll lose considerable amounts of money, and I'm going to be chuckling as that happens. Other car companies, tire companies right now, they're rubbing their hands together thinking about the extra millions in sales they're going to make. Especially since, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's getting towards the middle of August, a couple months from now. Colorado starts getting snowy, New England starts getting snowy. People need their snow tires. Well, then you should choose something other than Goodyear. I'll join the boycott too. I'll make sure not to buy Goodyear tires. Because the double standard, it's not even about what political persuasion it is. Look, if you had a company saying, well, MAGA's okay, but don't you show up in a Democrat shirt, the double standard would be the fucking same. The same fucking shit, and it's about time that we hold people with double standards to their own standards, including big for-profit corporations like fucking Goodyear. That's about all. Peace out.